for an example, Mr. Smith, what I might do is I might raise my hand and I might say that I want to comment on facial expressions, and I might say that they would have a smile. Would be a way that you might be able to answer this. So Michael has his hand raised.
Okay.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, Michael. Like maybe like a pinky colored skin, maybe red cheeks.
So for facial skin color.
Yeah.
A pinky color skin. Good job, Michael.
So if you're happy, your skin could be kind of pink. All right.
So did anybody else have any ideas? Surely Michael can't have our only one for today. Great. I see another hand being raised. Jonathan.
Unmuted.
If for facial expressions, if maybe you're happy, maybe you're smiling.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. So Jonathan said if you're happy, maybe your face might be smiling. And now we have another one. Ashik?
Physical action and movements. So when you're happy, you start jumping and then being excited.
Okay.
Excellent. Physical actions and movements.
Jumping up and down, yeah, okay.
Jumping up and down. Good job. We have another idea from Michael.
Yeah.
Unmuted.
Michael. For like voice level, maybe high pitch.
Good job.
Okay.
You guys have some great answers. That was for voice level. It might be a higher pitch. That's excellent. Good job.
Anybody else?
That's it.
Okay. Let's turn the page and look at the chart. And again, I put some suggestions in there, some of which you guys mentioned already. But let's go through them again. The same type of thing we looked at for anger, the same chart, the same type of organization. Here for happy, the eyes, chances are the eyes are going to be wide open. Person can be happy and at the same time they could be surprised. You know, it's a birthday surprise and their eyes are wide open and they're very happy and surprised as well. Eyebrows could be raised. The mouth and lips this time, instead of it being tight and gritted, your mouth is open. Your corners are turned up in a smile, as somebody said. When you smile widely, also shows your teeth. The upper and lower jaw is kind of open, like out of surprise, or you're about to say something happy. They're not tight and gritted like they might be if somebody's angry. The body language. Last time on anger, we talked about closed body language. Well, now in happy, it's open body language. It's welcoming. You're relaxed. Your arms are wide, almost like you're waiting for a hug or about to give a hug, or hanging at the character's sides, kind of relaxed and not tense and tight. Physical actions and movements. Here again, there's some similarities to a character being angry, because you could be tense when you're very excited too. It's a different kind of tense, but you still could be tense. Your actions could be fast. You're excited, you're running to give somebody a hug, or you're kind of in shock and you're moving a little slowly, but you're basically loose and relaxed, unless you're tense from excitement. It could be either one. The voice level and descriptive words. Here again, there's similarities to being angry. You could be loud if you're very happy. All right, you know, or saying something like that. Exclamation point in all capital letters. Again, you could use those. The descriptive words, I put asterisks next to ones that could be happy or angry. Speaking loudly, shouting, screaming, you know, with joy, yelling, or you could be kind of so surprised as you're speaking softly and whispering, like you're kind of in a happy shock. So there are some similarities there between how you'd express anger, how you'd express happiness, but the objective is that when you use enough descriptors to describe it, the reader will be able to tell the difference between your character being happy and your character being angry. Oh, here again, facial skin color, you could be all excited, and it could be, your skin could be red and flushed, just like when you're angry. So there are some differences, and there are really some similarities as well. Anybody, now that I've just gone through that chart, would any one of you like to make additional comments on this, or add anything, or say anything at this point?
I don't see any hands raised, so I think we are okay to keep going.
Okay, so let's keep going. Let's give a little more practice this time on this skill. And so I'm going to start to build a fictitious story. And Mrs. Adams will post it kind of a sentence at a time, so you not only will hear me, but you'll be able to see it. And then I'm going to stop at certain points and ask you a couple of questions. So again, when you're ready to speak, just raise your hands and we'll go from there. So here's how the story begins. Marilee and Juan decided to go shopping together at the mall.
I'm going to interject here real quick, though, because I do know as you're listening to this first part, we want to see if you can raise your hand when you know what emotion Marilee is experiencing.
Okay. While there, they realized it was time to get lunch. Marilee's eyes widened when she realized her favorite restaurant was there. She practically skipped over to Juan, grabbed his hand, and tried to drag him to where she wanted to go.
Okay, we've got someone who has an answer. This is one of
Okay.
a new response. Go ahead, tell us your name and what emotion you think that she's experiencing.
Mara, and she's happy.
Rama, and she's happy. Good job. Let's keep going and see if we think that she's right.
Okay, could I interject one point?
Absolutely.
When you answer the question, you said she's happy. I'd like to know, how did you realize that? What made you realize that she was happy? What were the clues in there?
When you said that the eyes widened and she skipped over and grabbed.
Eyes widened and skipped over. Excellent.
Very good. Yep, very good.
Michael has some clues as well, so I'm going to unmute his. Okay.
Unmuted.
I think maybe she's excited. I mean, I saw that, as I said, skipping and like eyes widened.
Great. So the same thing, skipping and eyes widened.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, let's keep going with the story. Let's see. Okay. The entire time she pulled his arm, she kept going on and on about how good the restaurant was, her voice higher and higher. Suddenly, though, she couldn't move anymore. Turning, she saw that Juan was mad. Okay, what do you think is not so good about that sentence? What would you do to make it better?
Michael has his hand raised.
Unmuted.
I would get rid of mad maybe, and maybe like his face was turning red.
Good job. So Michael said he might include that maybe the face was getting red. Jonathan, what do you think?
Okay.
Well, maybe he's trying to like pull back from. Maybe he's trying to pull back from her, like trying.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Maybe he's trying to pull back from Marilee's grip. Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
I don't see any other hands raised, so let's keep going.
Okay. And what you have told me without saying it is we don't want to use the word mad. I think you all realize that. Remember, that's the whole point of this lesson. Instead of telling the reader that he was mad, you then use some of these other techniques like face red, pulling back, let the reader decide. So the problem with that sentence was that the author used the word mad when they could have been much more descriptive using a couple of the things that you guys talked about already. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on with the story. Turning, she saw that Juan had his feet planted and his arms crossed. His eyes narrowed as he glared at the door to the restaurant, and he pursed his lips tightly. What clues is that giving you?
Michael.
Unmuted.
I think that he's like mad or doesn't like that face maybe.
So his eyes?
Yep.
Good job. His eyes, show that he's mad now. Jonathan.
Unmuted.
Maybe he's had a bad experience at that place.
I didn't hear that. He had a what now?
Jonathan said maybe he's had a bad experience at that place, and that might be why he's mad and kind of planting his feet. Excellent answers, you guys. Y'all doing a great job.
There's a